now listening to The Nasty Table, the premier source for tabletop role-playing actual play. Now come on in, relax, and pull up a seat to The Nasty Table. Please be sure to follow us on social media. We're active on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at The Nasty Table. Last time on The Nasty Table.
The National Crime Information Center set all the pictures up on the table.
We have pictures of pictures and pictures of things. Like Ray is shooting in the dark.
Investigated, tear that lie detector apart, and it's not bugged.
I don't know, we got to do some digging into this Greek stuff.
Whatever you choose to do off the clock, you are gambling with this case.
I just don't understand what happened in that storage locker.
Yeah, go on google.com/translate.
Probably get the pronunciation apsokos. Closest word is apsogos, which means perfect.
I was gonna say, can I say it? It's not gonna, it won't change anything.
Go ahead, Fatty.
Like,
Unreal.
each island has like, it's like, oh, this island is like the god of whatever. That's this island is associated with that god. This island is associated with that god. So like, my question was gonna be, could we find any that Demeter islands that Demeter would be associated with?
I was taking rips with you.
I could see.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because Decker probably never has been in his house,
Just
or like
sucks
has been in it
being-
like
I just hate
years
being
ago.
in it.
You know, like he probably be
sound
like,
like-
"Oh my god, you
They
have
touch you and
this,"
stuff?
Yeah, like, yeah.
or he'd be like, "You're missing this. Why isn't this here?" Like,
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
New
what I'm
tile
saying.
boys.
Or
don't
He'd
get
be like,
hands.
yeah, I remember from the fucking
I
Obstacles
just hate being new
shit.
because it's like,
Like,
I don't know what the
there
fuck
was
I
this
hate being
file
the
here.
fucking
There's-
bitch, you know what I mean? I hate that.
Yeah, fold phone technology is
you.
like really racking
Sorry,
up
what?
again. You know the fold phone shit, the new fold
like
shit.
it's like it looks like a screen, and then
It's a thing.
There's the flip,
People are doing that
which is
again?
like the old flip phones, but then the fold is like a Samsung phone that's like you
It's like a
open it.
book.
It's like a fucking tablet.
Oh, I don't
So
like that.
so when it's closed, it's like a normal phone, but you can open. Yes, like a book.
It's like a little pocket.
Yeah, it's literally it's actually like
then you
a,
have a stylus. And
She's
I
going.
know.
D&D in real life.
It's, yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, everybody loves Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
I know it's blowing the fuck
The
up.
reviews are like amazing.
Yeah. I haven't played it. Have you guys played it?
Our friend KP has been playing it.
Yeah.
The one who does the voiceover work.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah.
Because I know the stance was
Sid.
We could just do it here.
To the nasty
just play fucking
table.
real
My
life.
name is KP.
But I could just see it being like, how you gonna RP in that? You have like 4 dialogue options and that's it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
I
when
mean,
you're
like, I
talking.
get the idea. There's certain things the game can do that
Dude, it's like
TTRPG can't.
Yeah.
Like what?
Right. Give a distinct visual representation of what you're playing.
You do a good enough job, Joe.
You mean it?
Everybody knows.
Oh,
You paint a picture.
I hope I'm descriptive. I try to work on that. I always try to keep in my mind that, like, when you guys walk in a room, I want to try and hit all 5 of your senses. I always forget to do that.
You smell like shit, so you got that one down.
I also do leave a lot to your guys' interpretation. There's characters that I haven't given, like, very distinct descriptions of, you know? Like, I'll say who they're casted by if they're, like, an important NPC, but for the most part, I don't really do a lot of descriptive work. I kind of leave it up to you. It's something that I would like to work on, but at the end of the day, I don't think it matters, because I think it's cool that, you know, if I didn't cast Lieutenant Longo, you guys would all have very distinct pictures of him in your head.
I think that's
Yeah.
what's fun about D&D too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's fun.
Because we can all picture like what a 70s police department kind of looks like. Like D&D, you're making your own shit. you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that has more of a picture.
I do want to say, and it is with a very, very heavy heart, I'm actually going to read the exact wording. So, I have this gigantic note in my phone. It's called DN Ideas, which is just whenever something pops in my head, an idea for D&D, I write it in there, and it's very, very long. But there's one that I came up with recently, and I must have been drinking. But it really was an epiphany for me. Make everything larger than life. Fuck realism. Fantasy is fun. I don't remember writing that, but I see it, you know, every time I open up this note, and it makes me think. Realism is cool, and I'm obsessed with realism when it comes to D&D. You know, I really like the grim, dark kind of fantasy thing. It's very overplayed as well, but I do like it for because I think that it's a good vehicle for narratives. But dude, high magic, high fantasy, super wacky shit, that's fun as fuck. That's why we play D&D, because that's wacky and wild. We don't want to deal with, you know, because dude, when I'm writing, it's so fucked up. I know why I wrote this. I don't remember writing it, but I know why I wrote this. Is because, like, when I'm planning, like, quests, right, I can't help myself from, it'll be like about like a dragon or something and like a mystical treasure, but eventually I'll end up writing and tying it into like trade unions and like shit like that, because I just can't help myself. Like, my mind always goes down to like the baseline super realism thing about like supply and demand and shit like that. So I hope in this campaign, when we start it, that I break of myself that habit, because it's a very bad habit that I have where I try to root everything so deeply in reality in a fantasy setting. But hopefully I can fix that. Fuck realism.
I say fuck realism.
That's on, baby.
Fuck it.
Do you all agree with that sentiment?
I do. I do personally, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here.
Fuck realism.
Fuck realism?
I ain't playing
I'd
D&D
agree to
for
give it a
realistic
try.
shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you plan on? We haven't talked much about it, but is it like, what kind of campaign? Like, is this going to be like a shorter term campaign like this Delta Green campaign?
I'm really excited for Delta or D&D.
Well, my whole idea that I outlined before we even started recording this was this idea of modular framework narrative, where you guys will play a campaign from like level 1 to say 7 or 8, right? And that's a full campaign for all intents and purposes. We'd be doing that for probably 2 years, a year and a half. And then we'd switch to brand new characters in a different place, doing a different story, up to a stopping point. Then we switch again to something else, switch again, but the idea is that all these stories slowly begin to coalesce and connect together to an eventual end. At least that's how it's planned. Do you remember us having... I talked about this?
Yeah.
It's like your own MCU.
Yeah. The nasty table...
Cinematic
universe, yeah.
You're going to get played out by the 4th year.
We'll see.
Go to a bunch of small shows.
But I think that this is cool because, like, when we move on to a new campaign, quote unquote, those characters aren't going anywhere. We can always come back to them. They always will exist, and they might even come back as player characters in another time that we pick up where we left off, or NPCs or something, you know. I think that it's very dynamic, it's very interesting, and yes, I know that the goal is to get up to high level play, and this kind of pushes that off a little bit, so we won't get up to like level 20 as soon as we normally would, but we will get there eventually. The reason that I want to do it like this is because, one, we get to explore more settings, more characters, more stories, and two, it doesn't really have an ending point until we decide that there is one. Because theoretically, you can just keep going and going. That's also subject to change. Might not do it like that. Everything that I do and every decision that I make on how we play is completely based off up to, you know, what you guys think. So,
Sweet.
if I could please have a recap of the last session. You like that?
Somehow the
Did you want this
table
back?
saw is better than
Yeah,
that.
I know. I would much prefer the table saw. Would you rather lose your
Yeah.
legs or your hands? I would rather lose my legs than my hands.
Yeah, 100%.
I can get those cool robo
Yeah.
bumper
Dude, if you
legs.
don't have your hands, you can't do shit.
Yeah.
I can't jack my fucking wiener. Pet my dog.
Dude, could you imagine like having to learn how to eat with like a
That's
fork
like the
in
most
your
important
toes?
thing. Like, dude, that,
Like, that's-
in that order, that's the most important things that I do with my hands is like jack my dick.
At your dog?
Pet my dog.
I thought you said at your dog.
No.
I thought you were talking about jerking your dick at your dog.
No. What the fuck?
I don't know. No. You wear silk robes and shit.
Oh, yeah, I'm the
Fucking
weirdo. Yeah. I actually got a really nice pair of silk pajamas my sister thrifted for me, and they're fucking awesome. Why are you looking at him?
It's a fucking fruit. Cut that.
No.
Yeah, you allowed to say that?
Don't talk to Mike Finn about being a fucking fruit.
What?
Water with lemon.
It's delicious.
It's delicious. Yo.
So, on your way to Weiss Clay's house after departing from the library and doing some research, the four of you are in a car, and we'll establish which car that is in a second. The city of Linwood is quiet at this time in the day. It's around 2 o'clock. Not much going on. Eventually, you make your way to Sierra Lane, to Weiss Clay's home. The driveway, as much as you've seen it prior, nothing has changed. You park the car. And what do you guys do?
Get out the car.
Who's driving? What car is this?
I'll drive. And this is my dispatch car.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go check the tape on the door.
Get out of the car.
Yeah, we do that by, I guess, checking the back. Yeah, get out of the car.
So,
Wherever you put the tape.
as you guys are getting out of the car, right before Roy's about to close the door, you hear... Sergeant McNeil?
Grab the radio.
Copy. It is Aaron Lang. I am at the hospital with your little Nancy here. The baby has been born. Copy that.
Baby's healthy, Nancy's healthy?
No. Baby is being rushed to emergency surgery. As we speak, there's a couple of birth defects that the doctors are still trying to figure out. But I have Laura with me now, and she's kind of a little upset. She doesn't know exactly what's going on, but...
Can we hear this too?
Yeah.
Check how how's Nancy doing?
How's Nancy?
She's okay, as it seems now. I don't think that she knows that there's a problem with the baby. I'm still trying to put stuff together because the doctors won't really talk to me. All I know is that there's a couple of birth defects, baby's getting rushed to surgery, but Nancy's fine, she's alive.
Come.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Caleb here. Was this baby, do you got a time of birth?
1:58 p.m.
Alright, and I think it goes without saying, but if you could report anybody that, tries to enter the hospital or asks any suspicious questions about the child.
You got it.
Take it back.
I grab it.
She's got a name.
Name for a baby? The baby?
It's a boy. They don't have a name for it yet.
Okay. I don't know how long we're gonna be here. If we have time, we should. I'm curious enough to run. We should run to the hospital.
I want to know what's wrong with that baby.
Me too. I mean, how urgent is what we're doing right now?
We could go to the hospital. We could come back here with Becker.
Yeah, let's do it.
Can I check the tape real quick?
Yeah.
Just to ease our minds.
Well,
Sure.
Yeah, check. We have to. If you disturb it, just reset it.
I'm saying to go around the back door.
Oh,
Because there's no tape on the back door, right? Tape was on the front door?
Yeah.
So you can go inside from the back door.
I
and
mean,
check the
we
tape.
locked. Isn't everything locked?
Is it?
At least
locked.
I remember the back door being locked.
Yeah.
Up to you guys. Is there a way to check it and reset it?
Yeah, there's a way that he kind of set it up in which, like, if you open the door, you can tell if it's been opened prior. How would that work?
What?
How can he go in the front door to see if anyone's been in there?
Like you would... Oh, how could he check it?
Yeah. Or how can you check it? How can it be checked?
Well, I don't know if you, like... Oh, I would have to go in and if it breaks, right? And like, or, I would have set up like a fall trap, right? Like break a line, something happens.
Like a little like marble or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, if the trap works, when we open the door, we know that no one has done it. And
Gotcha.
you would assume, something that's like, you kind of tell if someone reset it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I imagine it's a marble falling on carpet, kind of.
Yeah, or like a glass of water.
That too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You could tell, like, oh, there's a wet mark. Right?
Gotcha. So you open the door.
Mm.
There is no puddle of water or marble fallen or anything like that. You were certain that this door has not been opened prior to you opening it now.
Okay. Reset it. Head back out the back door, locking it behind me.
Gotcha.
Alright, Sarge, I'm gonna head back into the hospital. I'm just radioing in from my car now. Anything you want me to do in here?
No, Lang, we're gonna meet up with you very shortly. We'll be there ASAP.
That's fine. I mean, you don't have to. I kind of got things under control here. I can just tell you what happens. Unless you really want to come. I mean, it's not like I mind your company or anything like that. If you want to come over, that's completely fine. I just, kind of got things under control here, Sarge.
We definitely trust you, Lang. You're a good dude. We're gonna head over. See you soon. Over.
Copy that. Over and out.
All right. I sit in my car. Okay. I turn on... I assume everyone's in the car?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I turn the siren on. And I go to the hospital. Drive to the hospital.
You guys head to the hospital? St. Mary's?
Yes.
Making your way there, it's a very large hospital. Linwood is known for having a very, very good healthcare system. There's several large hospitals across the entire city. This one is one of the bigger ones. Make your way into patient parking, visitor parking. Not hard enough to find a parking spot. Also considering the fact that you're driving a police vehicle, it's not too hard to find a spot to park. Park, get out, make your way into reception. What do you do?
I'm like, fucking, I walk behind you guys. Fuck it. I walk behind you guys. You do it.
Let's get in there. Walking up in there.
Into reception.
Mm-hmm.
Guy behind the counter, wearing scrubs, flipping through some... why can't I think of the word? What are they called? What are those boards? Clipboards. Flipping through a couple of clipboards. Doesn't seem to raise his head as you approach.
LFPD. Looking for Nancy Gosman.
Nancy Gossman, yeah, give me 1 second. And he goes through a couple of files. She's on the 3rd floor. Room 323.
Thank you. Let's go, boys. 3rd floor. Head up the elevator.
To the elevator.
Yep.
Punch 3F. Go up. Things open. The first thing you see as the doors open is like chairs that kind of line along the wall. Sitting in 2 of them. Officer Aaron Lang and Laura Gossman.
How does the kid look?
She's kind of sitting there looking around. Doesn't look particularly upset. She's not crying. She's not screaming. Lang rises as you guys come in. You can see him. It's Aaron Lang. Lanky, jittery. Looks up as you guys walk in.
Let's walk up to him.
How goes it, gentlemen?
Oh, we should be asking you that. How does it feel in here? Is there like a lot of chaos in these halls, or is it kind of chill?
No, it's pretty chill.
Do you know where the kid is?
Surgery.
Where?
He kind of looks towards Laura and like steps, like nods over kind of to the side and steps over. Well, so she gave birth and the doctors said that there were some issues that needed to be taken care of and that she would have to let the baby go to surgery. It's a ward, it's right down the hall. I saw the baby, if it matters to you.
What was wrong with it?
Well, since I radioed in with Sarge, I tried to poke and prod around. Seems like there's a couple of defects. Cleft palate, limb deficiency. One of the doctors said that the kid had a shorter left arm than right arm, and a heart defect. So I don't know exactly what they're doing surgery-wise. Nancy does not know.
Okay, well...
He kind of purses his lips.
I just want to find out what's wrong with the heart.
All due respect, detective. They're kind of busy right now. And they yelled at me for even asking. I don't think that they really have the time.
How's Nancy?
Like I said, she doesn't know. I mean, she gave birth and seemed happy enough. They took the baby away, didn't say, you know, what or where. But since we're outside the room, we weren't really in there with her, so we just happened to overhear. And when I say we, I mean me and Laura. She just knows that something's wrong. Laura doesn't really know exactly what's going on, but she's kind of picking up on the energy.
What do you guys want to do?
You didn't see anyone that threw you off, raised some flags even the slightest bit this whole time?
I've been paying attention since 4 o'clock in the morning when I first stepped foot in here, and I can tell you with the utmost confidence that I have not seen one suspicious individual yet.
Should we go in and check on her?
Yeah, we should.
I want to sweep the floor before, like, if they go in. I'll catch up with you in just a minute or two. I want to sweep the floor, look for anything. Anyone that looks suspicious. You know, like not staff or like clearly visiting some other room. And I kind of want to look to see if anything in or around the, you know, threshold to the room looks like tampered to be with, and then when I get into the room, kind of check that out too.
Okay. All right. Roll a general just search check for me. Roy, who's stepping in with you?
I'll go in.
So do I.
Jerry as well, or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The three of you step in. Okay. What we get on search?
61 on a 55.
All right. So you're making your just general sweep. The three of you step in. You see there is a nurse who is stationed there. Nancy is laying in the bed. Not pregnant anymore. Surprise, surprise. She's laying on her back. She looks flushed. Color is kind of more in her face than you've seen prior. Her face is red. She looks like she's visibly sweating. She's got probably about 3 or 4 blankets on top of her. She does not immediately look up as you step in, but the nurse does. The nurse steps forward rather quickly, 2 or 3 large strides, and just kind of like positions herself between you and Nancy. Can I help you, gentlemen?
Yeah, we're with, and I peek over. Is Nancy looking at us?
No. She's kind of got her head turned and she's looking out the window.
Okay. We're with the, Linwood Falls Police Department. Show the badge. Visiting Nancy. And I, peek over the nurse's shoulder and I say, Happy Labor Day.
Nancy kind of like turns her head and like locks eyes with you, and she gives a genuine smile.
Is she handcuffed to the bed?
Yes, she is. At this point, you notice it. You would have noticed it eventually, but since you asked, yes, she is handcuffed to the bed. all due respect, officers, the patient is resting and trying to recuperate, so if you wouldn't mind, if you have any questions or anything like that, to kind of hold off for, the next 2 or 3 hours. Just for the healing process.
Do it. Yeah, I mean, totally. Yeah, we'll step out. We'll step out.
Can I roll human on this nurse?
Yeah, go ahead.
6 on a 52.
You get an interesting read. You get the feeling that this isn't the first situation like this that she has ran into. Cops trying to interrogate a pregnant woman or ask questions to a pregnant woman who has recently given birth or maybe is going through some sort of traumatic injury or something like that. She seems like she knows how cops operate, and she's trying to get ahead of that. Medical professional above all else.
Not as like a woman trying to protect another woman from...
No, this seems to be a medical professional thing.
Okay.
She gives you a smile.
Step back out.
Roy and Jerry follow.
I want to ask her a question.
The nurse?
Yeah.
Sure. What do you say?
I want to be very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Am I close enough that if I whispered to her or something that
yes,
Nancy could hear?
Yep.
Is there any way you would talk to us outside?
Sure. Yes. Please.
Right.
Yeah,
we all go out the hall.
And she steps out to follow.
Now I want to kind of be quiet.
Mm-hmm. And she's kind of starting to walk towards like a main desk that's kind of at the corner. You follow her?
She does?
Yes. You follow her?
Yeah.
Sure.
Listen, I understand you're trying to protect her and everything. We're just trying to find out, is everything okay with the baby? Do you know what's wrong?
Yes.
I was given some information on that. We just want to make sure everything's okay.
Well, we don't want to upset Mrs. Gossman right now.
We're not going to talk to her.
Thank you. The child was born slightly prematurely, which in itself is not a huge problem, but there are several other birth defects that we did notice. I clued in the other officer there, but cleft palate, there's a limb deficiency. The child itself, we think that there's some sort of heart problem. That's why we rushed it over to surgery in order to see what we can do to fix it, but the outlook right now is not great.
The surgery's for the heart, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Even if the child does survive, it is disfigured.
Would you say that this is common in drug users?
I mean, we had to set Miss Gossman up with an IV, and it's not that hard for someone like me to notice track marks. So, yes, it is common with drug users, and Miss Gossman seems to be one.
Okay. Are these common defects in users?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, she does. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks very much. I think we'll step back and talk to our fellow officer.
Well, if it's any good coming from me, there's not a great chance that this child survives. And that woman, even though she is a drug user, she's under a great amount of stress. So, if the worst case scenario happens, I've seen it happen before, please give her space. Because right now, the doctor gives it an 80% chance that the child dies.
Okay.
Understood. I do need to ask before we go separate ways. Is there any chance that we can see the baby?
No. It's a clean room. No one in or out.
It would really help us as well as the mother if we saw the baby.
Why?
It's confidential information.
No. I cannot permit you to see the baby.
We don't need to see the baby, but can we at least, can you guys contact us? Can I give you our contact information? Just contact us when you find out what's wrong with the heart, and that's it.
Sure.
Okay. I write down our information. if you call the department, only ask for these names. And I wrote our names.
Okay. Yeah, and she takes it. Officers. She gives you a nod. Turns tail and walks away.
We gotta interrogate that fucking baby.
Dude.
Lie detector
What
test.
do you know?
Lie detector test the baby.
Shake the fucking baby.
Who put you in her pussy?
Jesus Christ.
Who was it?
Who put you
Whose
in
balls did you come out of?
I don't know. Something. It seems something's very weird about this. Like
I don't know.
Nancy, who, all that we can tell, has been a habitual drug user for years. Correct. Managed to have 2 kids that she might have been, you know, they could stuff could have been wrong with those 2 kids too, but they didn't have like crazy deformations and abnormalities, right? So like she was willing to give up her 1 kid, right? So like why was she having this 2nd kid if she's like broke, living in a trailer, can't really afford to do this? This is probably like the worst decision you could make, would be to have another child, and then is willingly doing drugs while she's on it. So clearly this kid's like transactional. It has to be. There's no way, right? Like,
I mean, I assumed that from the beginning. To be honest, was that
well,
like,
well what I'm saying is now the
thing.
kid's out.
Yeah.
So like now we really got to like face the music and figure out like what. Maybe this is like I don't know.
I mean, yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying like just tell us what's wrong with the heart. If it's gonna die, it's gonna die anyways. And then it's like if if they're like for some reason the heart was black, then we could be like, oh, thank you, and then walk away and be like, what the fuck, guys? Like we need the body, you know?
Well, I mean, are we walking out at this point? Are we still upstairs?
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
think
you
there's
guys are
anything we can do.
still upstairs. Aaron Lang is sitting next to Laura, and no one has gone back into that room with Nancy after the nurse left.
Did the nurse walk back in?
No.
Is the nurse watching our area?
No. She turned tail, walked away, and turned a corner.
How'd my search go from before?
Yeah, so you don't see anyone suspicious. You don't see anything that kind of sticks out. There's nothing alarming or alerting that you notice, even at like the threshold into the door. If you like kind of poke under to see anything that's kind of a red flag, you don't see anything.
I mean, what if she meant to do this? And started selling the next kid. Whoever made this thing, she was trying to kill it. She ran from you 2 days ago.
She did. She didn't give a fuck.
Risked getting tackled.
It's an empty room right now.
I'm not going into questioner.
I'm not going in either.
She's in custody. We can ask her whenever we want. I mean, I'm not 100% respect the nurse, but if she needs 2 hours to recuperate, just give her 2 hours to recuperate so she can answer the questions to the best of her ability.
I agree.
Yeah, we can wait.
Yeah. Lang's at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A little bit off from the door, maybe like another door down is where those chairs start.
Time is it?
We're looking at about like 2:30.
Thinking that scene in The Dark Knight where the Joker's just in a medical mask and you can't tell. That was the nurse the entire time.
Yeah.
It was RJ, but she takes off the mask and we realize.
It was fucking Marsha.
It was Marsha.
Mm-hmm.
I go rip her mask off.
Where is she? Where's Rachel? Where's Rachel? Rachel! Where's Rachel? Where is she?
I go shake the baby.
Where's Rachel? Alright, what do y'all want to do?
I mean, the original plan was to go back to Weiss's. If we have the time.
What did we come here for then? We kind of just came here just to be told to wait.
You want to go in a questionnaire? I think it's very risky.
I think so too. I'd rather she's in a good
We're
mood.
on the third. Never mind. I was gonna say, oh, you can just jump out the window. 3rd floor. You'd probably break a leg. won't die, but you'd probably break a leg.
Yeah. I really want to see that baby. But can't get in that room.
There's no viewing rooms for this kind of surgery center? There's not like a viewing gallery?
You've experienced surgery rooms that do have viewing galleries. The way that she specified it was that it's a clean room. Now, all surgery rooms are clean rooms. They're supposed to be, but you asked to see the baby. She said you can't. So you would assume that there's probably not a gallery.
Got it.
Whether or not you can force your way in there because your police is up to you.
But do we want to?
What, questioner?
No, look at the baby.
Oh.
Like, how bad do we want to look at the baby?
I don't think we're gonna see much. It's just whatever's going on in the heart is all and they'd have to cut it open. And
We
could
cut it open.
You guys ever play Last of Us? You guys ever play Last of Us? You played Last of Us? You know, that the very like last part where Joel is going through the hospital.
Oh.
And Ellie's under for surgery.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
See, we could do that.
I pull my pocket up. I start walking towards the clean room. I'm kidding. Yeah, okay.
I mean, to be fair, we see that kid has a black heart. They tell us the kid has a black heart. Where does that put us?
That's true.
What does that change? What new avenue does that lead to?
It's just more information.
More nothing?
That's not nothing to me.
Well,
what do you do with it?
I think that confirms that we can grill the shit out of Nancy right now. Right?
What would Nancy know?
Yeah, she's just
no.
a druggie.
Well, I mean, she can. We don't know anything about this child, like how it was, the terms it was conceived on, the whole pregnancy. We don't know anything about it. So if it comes out that this child is black lung, which means it's obviously implicated in the case, that the child is implicated in the case. You know, then we have grounds to grill the fuck out of Nancy in an interrogation, right?
Yeah, we could.
Like, clearly, you knew this kid was bait. You knew this kid was bait.
Ray, roll sanity.
Um, 60 on a 54.
You're going to lose 1 point of sanity as you catch yourself referring to a dying child more as a piece of evidence than a dying child. And it kind of stops you for a second, where you're having this conversation and you're talking this out, and you kind of like catch yourself, almost like whiplash, where it's like, this baby has a good chance to die, and I'm referring to it as if it's evidence or collateral in an interrogation. Just for a second, it kind of sets an uncomfortable baseline.
I mean, I understand what you're saying because it opens up the possibility that she could have been taking those Sean Gosman pills in order to implant something.
Well,
you know,
the recent police report from Gentry and the other cop whose name I forget, she had shit in her name disposed. That's in that report. And it was an abundance of pills.
So like, she could have been doing it a while ago.
That's true.
Or maybe she
could have been doing it for 6-7 months before.
She's
now.
thinking she's
8
saving
months.
This potential child that's already, like, you know, damned somehow.
Or she's just addicted to whatever pill she was taking and like just doesn't give a fuck.
But she didn't start. She was only getting the COPD meds for Bobby. She wasn't getting them for herself.
That's what she told us.
In the police
we don't
report,
know that.
it's not just the COPD though. Like
there's a pregnancy pill or whatever.
Yeah, but that's prenatal vitamins, correct?
It's not that one. It's one of the other ones that are under there.
Can I try to find that nurse?
Yeah. If you wait a little bit, maybe near the tail end of your conversation, she turns the corner again. At this point, you have a feeling that your window of entering the room has closed as the nurse approaches. Do you stop her before she enters the room?
Yeah. Excuse me. They brought Nancy here this morning?
Yeah, early in the morning.
Did they state specifically why this hospital?
It's the closest one.
Okay, she didn't have a specific doctor here? Any doctor that she told you that she was seeing?
Yeah, we do have her doctors on record, yeah.
Oh, okay. Are they doctors at this hospital?
No.
Oh, okay. Where was she coming from?
I'm not at liberty to give you that information, unfortunately. unless it's related to an open case and you have a warrant.
Would I be able to get that?
A warrant?
To find out who her doctor is?
She's asking for one. I mean, you would need one legally.
Yeah, but is that something we can get easily since she's...
It is an open case.
Yeah.
Like, we have her under custody.
You're asking how easy it is to get a warrant?
Yeah, what I think in my head would be to get a warrant for this information.
Yeah, it would probably take a day, though.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
She gives you a nod and enters Nancy's room. Closes the door behind her.
You want to call the lieutenant and try to get that moving?
Yeah, let's go back out to the car.
Before you step away, Aaron Lang kind of stands up and says, Sergeant, could I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
Yeah. And he kind of steps off to the side, and you walk with him. So, I've kind of been busy, but I've been watching over the girl. What's gonna happen with her? Worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario, her mom gets locked up and she has to go to an orphanage.
Is it okay that she's under our custody right now?
Can I roll like law or something to see if that is okay, or is that something I would know?
Roll law.
$45 on a 56.
Might be a problem later, but it's not a problem now or probably for the next few days.
So what would prevent this from being a problem?
Handing her over to a protective service.
Okay.
Not that CPS exists at this point in time, but there are equivalents.
Okay.
That would, as you say, hand her over to an orphanage.
Yeah. I like nod my head at Lang, and I step back to the group, and I'm like, Lang's made a good point to me. I mean, when we clock out for the day, what should we do with the girl, right? It could be a problem in the future, so maybe we hand her over to, a protective service, supervisional service right now.
I thought the whole reason we went and got her was because we couldn't trust her not under protection, real protection. She said it herself. Bobby wanted her.
Bobby's dead.
Bobby wasn't the only one working. I don't think there's anybody out there that wants her.
I'm with Caleb on this one. We gotta keep her with us.
So how do we keep her? She can't just stay at the office, 24/7.
You can't have Lang watch her 24/7.
Yeah. Talk to the lieutenant, see if we can get somebody switched over on her. Hopefully babysitting shifts only last a couple days. I mean...
Where's the girl gonna sleep? In a cell? She can't sleep in a cell.
Maybe somebody takes her back to her house. She watches the house.
She's got to go somewhere eventually. Why
That's
wait?
Not a bad idea, at least for this evening. I mean, we did talk about, this meetup's supposed to go down today, so we want to have some patrolmen at all our big red flag spots. So maybe we have her sleep at home tonight and have one or two of our guys posted up there, making sure she's all right.
Absolutely. I mean, like we said, if we only have days left to finish this case, how much does it hurt?
Are we allowed to do that?
To do what?
You said let her just go home and have somebody stay in the trailer? Are you allowed to just do that?
Before we're at a point where we can walk in and out of that trailer as we want. Right, that's how we got in there. We were able to officially sort through her shit.
Would we know if you were allowed to do this or not?
Well, so this is complicated. You can enter that premises because the resident of that premise is in custody. So yeah, I mean, it's not a huge issue to, enter that at will. The issue, however, is that Nancy Gossman is in custody, but she is not under arrest. You need to get her to sign that confession. Once that's happening, then you can go through the official arrest, and then more of those avenues open up. You can do whatever you want. This is a fantasy game.
I was gonna say that would be a terrible moral decision to like get her all loopy and shit to sign her confession and then be like, "Ha, I gotcha."
Fuck, she's gotta sign that shit.
Don't we have enough on her to just arrest her on our own will?
Yeah, you have a confession that is not yet signed. The second that confession is signed, that's enough evidence.
Mm-hmm.
But she has to sign.
She has to sign it.
And she has to make that decision. We can't make her.
The document needs to be signed.
Mm-hmm. And she's aware. I mean, she's in fucking custody. She knows. We told her why she's in custody.
Mm-hmm. We have her own confession on recording.
Yeah, and we haven't. But the thing is,
and halfway transcribed. You started the transcription on it as well.
We haven't given her the paper yet. Like, we haven't even entertained that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in like 2 hours, let's do it.
I mean, obviously we could just make her sign a confession and later, but I think the big thing is she's not a great person, but do any of you guys really have a good feeling if the only one here is locked up is Nancy?
Not at all. I mean, the way I see this, this whole family at the trailer park is Nancy's a piece of shit, but if she goes down real hard, then we're just taking down two people because her daughter's not gonna benefit anything if her mom just gets locked up forever.
Yeah, but she can't not get locked up. She can't get away with this. She's done horrible, horrible, horrible stuff.
I'm just saying that at least if she can point us in the right direction, let's look out for her daughter.
Absolutely.
She does seem remorseful,
I mean, she practically killed her baby.
Oh, listen, give her hell. I'm just saying, look out for her daughter, because that kid's just getting caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Just something to consider. Alright, you want to go back to Clay's?
Yeah, I start walking back to the car.
Start walking back to the car, leaving behind Aaron Lang, Laura, and Nancy Gossman. You guys make your way down the elevator, back outside, into the car.
Vroom, vroom.
Sorry, did we have the arrest citation on us, or is that not something that would be in the car?
For what?
For Nancy.
The confession?
Yeah, like to sign to, consent or whatever to being arrested.
No, that's back at the station.
Okay.
Do you want to call about that warrant on her doctor?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. On the radio, you're saying? Or just on the phone?
Yeah. Do we trust that line right now?
Your radio?
Just to Longo.
Do you?
Do we have a direct line just to Longo, or does it go to the whole station?
Yeah, you have Longo. Like, there's a radio that's just in the VCU.
Yeah, okay.
I'll turn the car on and I'll pick it up. Hand it to you.
Longo's Caleb. Officer O'Connor. Detective O'Connor. I don't know what the fuck I am.
What the fuck am I?
I don't know who I am.
Who am I? What am I?
Oh, Jesus.
Lieutenant, do you read me? Detective O'Connor here.
This is Longo. I read you.
I thought you were gonna
No, there's no. It's only the first. It's only the at the beginning. There's no at the end.
We were. Did you hear about Nancy? She gave birth, but the child had some issues. We were talking with the nurse about trying to discover more into possibly the medication she got, or how this baby was doing along the way, and we were wondering if we could get a warrant for that information.
Yeah, Aaron Lang said that he had some information he wanted to tell you guys, but no, I didn't know that Nancy gave birth. What good does it do for the case if we understand how she got this medication or why she got this medication? What's the point?
I mean, I think that my lead goes back to, it goes further than that. It's finding out who was still prescribing Sean this medication and why he was still getting COPD medication without being seen in at least a year.
Well, based on her confession, she says she hasn't talked to Sean in a decent amount of time, so what's to say that her prescriptions are related to his?
She was still getting scripts for these, right?
As far as we know, yeah. But I'm just saying, I can waste the judge's time and try to get this information, but how does strictly this information about how she got prescriptions and who prescribed them to her in specific, how does that help us?
I was wondering more about, I guess that leads into if we can get a warrant on finding out Sean's information and the doctor that was prescribing these COPD medications, and also Bobby's.
Well, that's going to come down to finding out the pharmacy that they got it from, which you guys do know at least, so yeah, I mean, maybe. That's a different thing, though. That's not Nancy. Getting the warrant for Nancy's medical information is completely unrelated to Bobby and Sean's at this point in time. And that's a harder argument to make to the judge.
I hang the radio back up. I sit back in my seat.
Put the car in drive. Or reverse, back out of the spot and drive.
Heading to Weiss Clay's house?
Yeah.
Back to 1 Sierra Lane. You guys make your way there pretty quickly. At this point, it's maybe about 2:45.
Get out, shut the car off, close the door, and walk up to the house and just, without activating the trap if possible, just keep walking in.
Sure. As the glass of water falls, you catch it rather deftly.
Yeah.
Okay. All four of you making your way into Weiss's house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making your way in, you guys are in the foyer.
Is there any sign of anyone coming in? Like maybe even beyond the trap?
What are you looking for in specific?
Is the foyer floor carpet or
all carpet?
Any tracks on the carpet or tracks on the carpet?
Roll search.
Or like a sign of the door sweeping over the carpet while opening. 78 on a 55.
You don't notice anything, no?
Okay.
In the foyer of Weiss Clay's, what do you guys want to do?
We go up to the study.
Yeah.
Making your way up to the study. Passing the bathroom. And at the end of the hall, you see the bedroom door. Study door is closed. You open it.
Carefully.
Open it slowly, and you see the same study that you saw prior. I did not ask, but what did you guys do with the money that was in that desk?
Definitely left that there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the desk? Did you close the desk back up?
Yeah, like try to put it back as we found it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. You step in, you see the bookcases, the filing cabinets, the desk. The paper's still strewn about it. The gun case as well is there.
Can I look through the D section in the filing cabinet?
Yeah. You open up the filing cabinets, go to D. There's a decent amount of stuff in there related to Greek history, general anthropology, and there are some research papers for Demeter, decent amount. More of a historical analysis of themes in the gods' worship, or I should say the goddesses' worship.
Okay, I want to skim them, like try and gather some themes. Like, you know, if the research papers, I assume there's like abstracts that I could just kind of like peruse through.
Do you want to spend a decent amount of time going through all these? Because if you keep going through, because not just under D's, are you expanding your search to more? Because maybe T has themes of worship of Demeter and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll expand that a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything?
Is this just like almost like an encyclopedia that he has here, or is there like topics about like personal things to him, like people?
Based off of whoever, I don't remember exactly who did the first search of this. I believe it was Chup. Ray found that it's strictly research information. It's nothing like that. The only other thing that's in here other than that is his personal documents, which is bills, work history, bank account statements, mortgage, car loan payments, stuff like that.
Had we gone through that?
Yes.
Okay. And then are those papers that were out on the desk still out on the desk?
Yes.
Can I go through those again?
Yeah, so that's going to be proto-civilizations in and around the Agency, dissertation on Cycladic and Minoan female-centered ceramics, and late Neolithic culture of Crete. So you get your hands, Ray, on a decent amount of research papers that pertain to Demeter. Now, this is a large amount of reading. So, how do you go about this? Are you skimming, looking for specific things, or are you reading front to back?
Well, like, you know, first things first, if it's an abstract, I'm just reading that. If whatever I gather from it, I gather from it, and, you know, that's that. If there's not one, and the title intrigues me, I guess I'm looking for, Apsokos would be one...
As a reference?
Yeah, one word to look for. The symbol, right? Yeah. You know, things we've seen before.
So the first thing that you can take away from this is that symbol is one of many symbols for this goddess. One of maybe 4 or 5. The other thing is that you don't even, I mean, you're skimming rather quickly, but like looking at the words, not reading, you don't see a reference to Apsokos at all, anywhere in here.
Now, when you said that symbol, which symbol do you mean?
The stalk of grain, just the single stalk of grain, plant matter, whatever that is. I will say, if you spend an hour and a half going through these documents, I'll allow you any information that you're able to find on this goddess on Wikipedia. Much in the same way that we did with Lolita.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, like, if you want to summarize it off the top of your head, you said it was about...
It's a fertility deity related to good harvests and the seasons.
Did you... Okay, so I guess I want to look into potential offerings and sacrifices. If I, like, from, you know, skimming of that.
Yeah, it doesn't have mentionings of anything related to strictly human sacrifices or anything like that.
It could just be like praying, just like what would appease the god, and what would, you know, like that kind.
Yeah.
Right?
Praying is mostly the only thing that's mentioned strictly in these research papers. Praying and monetary contributions to whatever, and obviously these are archaic in nature, but temples that exist.
Yeah.
Can I look under where the money was and see if it's still there?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Untouched?
Do you take that panel off?
Yeah, I'll take it off.
Yeah, it is untouched. You count it back up and it's still there.
Can I walk into Weiss's bedroom?
Yes. Bloodstain sitting on the bed.
Oh, it's okay.
Roll sanity stepping into here. $89 on a 44. You're gonna lose 2 points of sanity.
Okay.
Anyone follow Roy in or no?
No.
What's Caleb and Jerry doing?
There's no part of this house that we didn't ransack, right?
No. It's been top to bottomed.
Yeah, there's something I want to do in here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can I walk back in? Can I walk back in the study?
Yeah.
And I want to look now through the A's again.
Yeah.
Are all the A's gone?
Yes, the entire... no, I'm sorry. It has been thinned out. There were more here, you have the feeling of.
Okay. I just want to make it a point to skim what I can, like as much as I can in this study, in this area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you looking for anything in specific?
Just everything that might have been taken. Not just the A's. So.
Yeah. So you begin going through to see what has been touched and what hasn't.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
At this point, if I know they're going to be researching for a while, I'll go back out to the car and wait on the radio, see if there's anything that comes through.
Okay. Okay. Jerry?
I don't know what there is for me to do in here. Like, what could I even do? We've already checked this place. Basically gutted it.
It's pretty dry.
Unless he's got stuff hidden in the fucking walls or the floors.
You guys already did like a deep dive.
Exactly.
Roy,
check the backyard.
Roy, you come away with the following. Decent amount of documents under A have obviously been removed because there's a lower distribution of files filed under there. A lot of these files are also misplaced. There's D's that are under E's. There's N's that are under M's. Some files aren't neatly put in. They're kind of crumpled and shoved in. So this entire collection, you believe, has been searched through. Same can be said with the books. However, none of the books are missing. There's also a shotgun that is missing from the cabinet.
Okay. Yeah, that's same. That's the shotgun though, right?
Yeah, it's an 11 shotguns there that it looks like it fits 12.
Okay. Okay, so shit looks like it's been quickly misplaced, like jammed. You said jammed into shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few that are like crumpled and kind of jammed into place.
I pull the ones out that have been jammed.
They seem to be random in nature.
Okay. Yeah. What time is it?
At this point, we're looking at about 3 o'clock.
I say we go wait for Becker.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to shed a light on at least something that's in here. More than we can.
Caleb?
I'm not with you.
It's in the car.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I start to walk out.
Same.
Set up the little trap, go out the back, lock it.
Do you take the files on Demeter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, if you spend some time, hour and a half reading them, Ray has access to any of the information you can pull from Wikipedia.
Okay.
You guys begin making your way out. Caleb, the radio goes off.
Sergeant McNeil. It's Aaron Lang. Do you copy?
How long gonna sit in this car? Did I get this?
You've been sitting there for maybe about like 10 minutes.
He's indisposed at the moment. Caleb O'Connor here.
They lost the baby.
They give any reason, any detail at all?
Congenital heart failure. They're telling Nancy now.
Just keep the kid away. Don't let her see her mother like that.
Copy that. Over and out.
How long till they get in the car?
They're probably like making their way out the door at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, walk back up to the car.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to use it, but Lang called. They couldn't save the kid.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, as expected, but I don't know if there's anything else that would there be any reason that with this investigation we'd be able to get an autopsy on that baby?
You cannot think of a legal reason.
Got it.
But whoever you make arguments to and whatever arguments there are up to you.
Yep.
The one thing that you guys do notice right before you leave is his mailbox has a newspaper sticking out of it, as if mail had been delivered this morning.
Go check the mail.
Check the mail, newspapers, and it looks like some sort of bill.
Oh, just random BS bill, or I'll open it. Fuck it.
Yeah, you open it. It looks like it's his phone bill.
Okay.
The one thing that you do notice is the newspaper has a headline. Linwood Falls Police Department unveils alarming details of gruesome murders. Linwood Times.
What's the date on this?
This morning.
Okay. I'll skim through it. Is this just press conference stuff?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, that's fine.
A basic retelling of the information that has been disclosed on the press conference.
Okay.
If we still want to...
Your picture's there too.
Okay.
Maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to leave that in the mailbox. If we don't want people to think that we've been to this house.
Yeah, let's leave it in here. Put it back in. Fuck, I opened the phone bill. Whatever. Let's fucking close it up, like fold it under itself, put it back in. Go back in the go back in the car.
Yep.
Okay. Let's take a poll. We can go to the hospital and look at the dead baby, or we can go back and wait for Becker. I think that Lang has it covered. I don't think we're gonna get much out of it if we go right now to see this baby.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
Not worth trying to, cause a scene potentially in the hospital with the nurses and the doctors trying to look at something they don't want us to see.
Yeah.
Unless they, what's the hold usually on a corpse like this? I know it's morbid, but am I the only one thinking that we need to find out more?
What is the hold on this? Is there some kind of roll we can...
You can roll law if you want.
Can I help him?
Yeah. What'd you get, Caleb?
9 on a 33.
You got better or worse than that?
I failed, yeah.
So, 9 on a 33. It's a baby that has, for all intents and purposes, died of natural causes. You have no way to tie this into the case that you have at this point in time. Whatever arguments you make, like I said, that's its own thing. The child died of natural causes, as far as the hospital is concerned.
What are the usual next steps then? Like, does it get sent to a funeral home?
It's up to the parents. It's completely up to the parents. Whether the child is buried in the normal avenues or if the parents decide to just have the city cremate. It's up to the parents.
Is there a way where we can possibly legally get Davy Jones to look at this baby?
I mean, it might be wrong. I don't know if she's going to want to cremate this kid. That seems like her... If the logic follows that she tried to kill this kid, then it would make sense that she'd want to have it done with as soon as possible. What if we call and say that we're part of this investigation is on the father, and we're still waiting to see what the father wants to do with the remains of the child?
Who do we know the father?
Does the hospital know we don't know the father?
I think that if they need a warrant, that we would need something written for them. Fuck it. What? Maybe we do have to go to the hospital. Maybe we do. Right? Because what if they get rid of the baby?
How are we going to stop it?
We need to know if that baby has a black heart.
They would have said that.
Maybe they didn't know until they opened it up. I mean, we could just get a read on one of the doctors. If they're willing to talk to us.
Did Lang say anything about a black heart?
No, you can, I mean, here.
I just said it was heart failure.
Lang, this is Sergeant McNeil. Do you copy?
I was just about to walk away, but yeah, I do.
Did the doctors say anything about a black heart?
No, they just said heart failure. They didn't say any kind of color.
Is there any way you could, I don't know, talk to them for us? Maybe ask them if you could get a little bit more detail?
Sarge, you just give me 5 minutes. I'll get you everything you need to know. I'll go ask him. What do you want me to ask?
Ask if it was, I don't know, some sort of minor heart failure common in drug-abusing mothers. Ask if the heart was fucking black. Can you do that?
En route, over and out.
Copy that.
Minute passes. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4, 5, 6.
Sergeant, you read me?
I copy.
So they said a heart defect. They said that it was probably inherited at some point. They also said that the drug abuse probably had a big effect on it. Strictly speaking, I asked about discoloration. They said there was none of the sort.
What do we think?
I think maybe she just did it on purpose. We just have to question her when she's healed up, I think.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know if there's much we can get here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Poor child. Alright, let's go back to the station.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right.
Sarge?
Thank you, Lang. That's all we need for now.
Alright, just a heads up that, Nancy does know now. They told her, as I came in, she is not taking it well, as I imagined she wouldn't. It's really rough right now. I'm requesting to be allowed to come back to the station and have someone relieve me so I can get Laura somewhere else.
Sure, Lang. We'll send someone as soon as we get back. And once they show up to relieve you, you and Laura can come back.
Copy that. Over and out.
Alright, drive over to the station.
To the station. En route to the station, back to home base, with several developments. That's where we're going to pick up next session.
Thanks for listening to this episode of LFVCU, a Nasty Table production.